Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. So for today's video, we were going to watch Noli Me Tangere, and after that, we were going to criticize using the 5 theory of criticism, namely Marxist theory, historical criticism, mimetic theory, new historicism, and reader response theory. So without further ado, let's start. So let's start with the mimetic theory. Due to the power the Spaniards exhibit, there will be Filipinos who would want to gain the same power, worst, to assume that they are one of them. Mimicry is one element of post-colonialism wherein natives mimic their colonizers in novel. One who portrays this outlook is Capitan Tiago. He claims that he is not a Filipino but a Spaniard. Thus, he is very close to the authorities and the friars. He has forgotten his roots, pretending he is as powerful and important as the other Spaniards in San Diego. Other than him, there are also the Alperes, the leader of the Guardia Civil, and his wife, Doña Consolacion. He was power-hungry, and so was his wife. The Doña was actually a lavandera, laundress, but because of his husband's appointment as a chief of the Guardia Civil, their heads got bigger. Soon enough, they were also belittling and persecuting their fellow men. Another was Lucas, the brother of the Taong Dilaw. Although he was one of the revolutionists, his desire to gain power and money was also voiced out by the narrator in the late chapters in the novel. So let's move forward to Marxist theory. The country during Rizal's time was weak and helpless. People were misguided, direct and indirect oppressions, those done by friars. His novel illustrates through his characters Spaniards' abuse, oppression, greed, and manipulation done to the Filipinos. Crisostomo Ibarra, in particular, depicts a typical character that represents the oppression along with Sisa, Tuli, Crispin, and Basilio, Isagani, and others. Tragic episodes happened in their lives are the result of growing tyranny of Spaniards. Hypocrisy, vices, social climbing by desperate Filipinos can also be the results of these oppressions. Friars became the main oppressors in the novel. Government officials were under these friars, and all this represent the superstructures of community in which they continue to spread their power, their abusive manipulations by using the weakness of Filipino to fulfill their own interests. Next is reader response criticism. Noli Me Tangere was an advisory for the Filipinos to fight against the colonizers, today's reminder of our history. The characters and the events in the story resemble our life, culture, beliefs of Filipino people. This literary piece will mark in our hearts that values that the novels tells us to be good role model that will benefit our country. Reading this piece will make us realize the true meaning of nationalism and be catalyst for change. So let's move forward to the fourth theory of criticism, which is new historical criticism. The novel depicted real-life events during the Spanish colonization in the Philippines, like the Friars' Command decision, social issues, injustices, and the Philippines as a backward country. The conflict in the novel exists until today's generations that it affects our society and the country that needs to learn and read nor watch Noli Me Tangere. The conflicts that were dominant in the novel, like corruption, injustice, poverty, and abuse, remain the same problem up to this day. So let's move forward to the last theory of criticism, which is historical criticism. Noli Me Tangere was the first novel written by Dr. Jose Rizal. He started writing his novel in Madrid, Spain from 1884 to 1885. This book was historically significant and was instrumental in establishing the Filipino sense of national identity and nationalism. The movie are indirectly influenced a revolution, although the author, Jose Rizal, advocate non-violence means and only direct representation to the Spanish government. He had written the novel to help the Filipinos awaken to the reality that has been happening back in the day. He wanted his fellow countrymen to become conscious from the oppressions and the ignorance they possess. In the movie, Rizal exposed how religions and colonial oppression had a poisonous effect in every Filipinos living in the country. All the rights and privilege they should have been experiencing were being taken away from them just because they did not have enough money and power to speak out. It was evident in the novel that even those fellow countrymen with position and power belittle those with nothing regardless of race. The Noli Me Tangere also exposes the corruption and brutality of the civil guards which drive good men to crime, and expose corrupt friars like Padre Damaso and Padre Salve who have made Catholic religion an instrument for enriching and prolonging themselves in power. Instead of teaching Filipinos true Catholicism, they control the government by opposing all progress, like how they perceive the school that Ibarra had built. They also use faith and religion to gain the approval of the people under them, and to believe in everything they say. Noli Me Tangere highlighted how Filipinos live under the rule government and described the inequities of the Spanish Catholic priest.